I believe it's recording right now.
Yeah,
Um,
it's recording.
how's COVID affected you as a renter during this time? Like,
So pretty much like one way COVID has really affected me as a renter is just due to the fact that like when COVID started, everything potentially basically shut down. So I wasn't getting as much hours as I wanted to from work, but they were giving me enough hours that I could potentially not get on the unemployment list. So that way, like I was getting some hours, but I wasn't getting any hours. But potentially, I was able to still pay rent, pay some of my like the things I needed to pay, but it wasn't enough for where like I was able to still like be able to potentially like pay for my car, be able to get like groceries and stuff like that. So I really had to be like I had to minimize how much on my spending habit, so that way I'll be able to be like this at the end of the month is coming, like the first is coming, so I need to make sure I have like money for rent. I needed to make sure that I had like money for this. So like potentially I was always like I was spreading like I had way too many expenses, but not enough money to basically pay for all my living costs.
yeah, wow, wow, man, dude, and it's real, bro. Cause like I'd say the same thing too. Did you know about any rental assistance available? Did you think about applying? And if you did, like, what's the process like?
Yeah, so pretty much, I didn't know much about any rental assistance because I like I said earlier, there was not that much like advertising per se for that, especially like in the Manchester like district wise. So like I sort of found out about it maybe like honestly I found out about it in December. And the only reason I heard about it is because like I went over to dinner at my girlfriend's house and her parents were talking about it, like, oh, so we heard about, and then when it came to mind, it's sort of like when it came to mine, I didn't want to apply for it just due to the fact that I didn't know much about it, and I honestly thought it was gonna be like how people are getting unemployment, and then eventually it's gonna catch up to you when it comes back to taxes. So like I just didn't like I didn't want to be comfortable now, and then later on in life have to start paying for it. I'd rather be able to suffer now and then be comfortable later. So I didn't really know like it was something that was already paid for that I can potentially like it would definitely benefit me in the long run. If I would have known that, then it would have been different in that like in a scenario for me.
Yeah. No, dude, that's a fact. That's a fact. So many people didn't even know, bro, that there was that money and that it was made available chances that you need. And I was like, yo, it's crazy. Like you said, it wasn't advertised. Um, I saw like people in Massachusetts were advertising their money. Like if you were watching the Celtics game, I had my friends like, yo, there's an ad on here. But like here in New Hampshire, we didn't do that. So like I guess like my last thing is it's like, if you had any, I guess, advice for anyone right now, like maybe maybe you don't have an advice for anyone right now.
Yeah, I would say like at least for me is I was scared for what's yet to come. Like I didn't want to. I personally like when I heard about it, I didn't even take the time to even like look into it and see like what we had to do for example like when everybody heard for unemployment, like they didn't like a lot of people didn't even know they would have to pay it back in taxes. Like they know they were just excited to the point where like okay, like I don't have money, I need to figure it out like what to do. Like people weren't researching it, they just heard free money. But like when also like I was all like in my case, and when I heard about the you can get help for rent, I didn't really look into it and see that like because the more research you do, the more like you find out like if you have to pay for it back or not. If I would have done my research, then I would have probably been like living a little bit more comfortable than I am now, if that makes sense. So I just tell people just make sure like you always do your research. If you don't know, there's definitely someone that does know. Like make sure you use your connect. Always ask around because like if you never know, somebody else will know. Always have an answer for you.
It's true. That's so true, man. That's so true. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You guys are definitely doing good work.
Thank you, man. Thank you, G. Thank you. Thank you.